Hi, it's John and welcome to Cycling on a Shoestring, and on this episode we're going to try to keep your feet warm in the wintertime. Let's face it, if your feet are cold, you're likely to be pretty cold on your bike as well. This time we're going to take a look at the Shimano MW7 winter cycling shoes. Thanks very much for joining me on Cycling on a Shoestring. And if you live in a cold climate like I do here in Canada, you know how hard it can be to go out on a cold day riding. Generally, it's my feet that get cold, and those cold feet get me back in the house too soon. I don't get a long enough ride in. And maybe you're somebody who likes to wear your summer shoes covered by shoe covers like this. And that's what I've been doing for a very, very long time. But as you can tell, these ones have seen better days, and I thought about buying some new shoe covers, but then I thought maybe it was time to invest in something a little bit better. That's why I put my money into these. These are the Shimano MW7 winter cycling shoes, M meaning mountain, and I paid $200 for these at Pro Bike Kit Canada. Now you're saying, well, $200 is quite an investment for a shoestring budget. Yes, it is, but I think these are going to last a long time, and I figure it's a good investment if it keeps me on my bike longer. So let's take a good look at these and see if they live up to their reputation, which is pretty good. And I'm going to go out a little bit later on the road. It's -12 in Calgary, and see if they keep my feet warm. Let's take a closer look at the Shimano MW7 winter cycling shoe. And right here I've got my road shoes that I normally wear in the summertime. And as you can tell, they are Shimano's, and I am a Shimano guy. I have Shimano road shoes, I have Shimano mountain bike shoes, and the reason for that is Shimano makes shoes with a larger toe box in them. I find that many shoes have more of a European styling, have very wide feet, and my feet fit better in Shimano, so that's why I bought these. I also purchased these because I wear these all the time, because I was more aware of exactly what size I was going to need when it came to buying these particular shoes. Now, normally I wear a size 46 when it comes to Shimano shoes. It's both in my mountain and road shoes. These are size 47, and because they're winter shoes, I bought them one size larger in the European sizing, just so I could fit a little thicker sock in there to keep my feet a little bit warmer. And as you can tell, I just want to show you this again. These are my covers for my shoes, which are really done in. They're done. So that's why I ended up buying these winter shoes. Now, I want to start at the bottom of this shoe so that I can get onto the bottom of these shoes. Now, if you look right here, it might be hard to see, but it says stiffness 10. These are carbon fiber soles on these shoes. They're as stiff as you could get when it comes to Shimano shoes. So just to give you an idea how stiff these particular ones are. Now, moving over to these ones, we'll flip them both over. As you can see, I've got a cleat on this side. I had cleats on both of them, but I removed it from this shoe particularly so I could show you what was on the bottom of the shoes. Let's move this one out of the way and take a closer look at the bottom of the shoe. As you can tell, the plate is already in there. Now, if you've ever put mountain pedals on, you know, generally you pull the insole out, put the plate on the inside, and then you bolt your cleat on the outside. This one is sealed inside Gore-Tex on the inside, so your feet don't get wet. So when you put your cleats on, make sure you don't strip this because it could be a little bit of a mess. But it does have plenty of movement up and down here depending on where you like to have your pedal, on the ball of your foot or further out to the toe. It's got quite an aggressive pattern of the sole. As you can see, I'll turn it this way so you can get a better shot on it. Now, these are mountain pedals, MW7, M for mountain. I bought winter boots for outside. These are going to be much, much better when it comes to walking in snow and ice, as opposed to the RW7s, which are road shoes for colder weather. Now, it does say Torbil right in here. That's a brand, or I guess a line of shoes when it comes to Shimano. It's got to deal with the stiffness of the shoe. They stiffen it up at one part of the sole compared to the other for better pedaling dynamics. You can read more about that, but it is a Torbil, and this is sort of an 8 when it comes to stiffness. You remember that my road shoe was a 10. Now let's take a look at the shoe from the side. Of course, it says Shimano here. Right here it says Gore-Tex. We're going to take a look on the inside of the shoe in just a moment to give you an idea of what's in there. And this is a reflective paint on the shoe. So if you're out riding, maybe you're a commuter, you go out in the wintertime when it's darker in the morning, you're coming home, it's a little darker at night. This is reflective, so you're going to be seen out on the road. Now on this side, Just basically, it is man-made type materials here. This is sort of a neoprene cuff on the top that comes up around your ankle. I'm going to put them on in just a moment, and we'll show you how that fits when we get it on my foot. And right here it says MW7. A little hard to see, but it's MW7 for the brand of the shoe. Now, looking at the shoe itself, when it comes to how it attaches and how it hooks down on your feet, let's pull off. This is Velcro here, and you've got Velcro all the way around the toe. So it seals really good down here, right from here all the way across. As you can see, it goes right down nice and tight, and it does pull across that neoprene cuff there. And on the inside, you've got this little gadget here to tighten up your laces. So you can pull this tight. This slides down like this, and this actually has some Velcro on it as well, so you can attach it there. Now, I'm more likely to put it in here because you want to make sure you get a good seal on this. If you put it there and then try to attach it down, it's going to leave a little bit of a lump there as well. But it does attach there if you want to do that. And then it has this strap as well, so you can pull it nice and tight over your foot. And it's going to fit nice and snug on there as well. Again, this is neoprene on the top. Now, I don't know whether you can see inside here. I'll try to tip this up, but it does have an insole in here. I'll pull it out for you. Generally, Shimano insoles are pretty robust. And there you go. There's the insole. So it's nice and thick. It's going to be very, very comfortable. As you can see, it says 47 on there. And I don't know that you can see the inside, but it does say Gore-Tex on the inside of the shoe. If you put your hand all the way down in there, it is sealed all the way from the toe to the heel with Gore-Tex. Here's a shot I took of it with my camera a little earlier so you can see the inside of the shoe. So that's basically a look at the Shimano MW7 from the outside. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put them on, see how they fit, and then we're going to go out and test them in some pretty cold weather here in Calgary. So we've got a little bit of a shot of my feet here. As you can see, I've already put the shoe on this side, but let's put it on my right foot. Now what I've got on is a pair of Bridgedale Trekker outdoor socks. Now they're pretty long, which is perfect for riding in the wintertime. They're a mix of merino wool, a couple other different types of wool, and some man-made products as well. I bought these at an outdoor hunting store. I've worn these in cold weather. They do keep your feet very warm. They're not terribly thick, obviously thicker than a dress sock or something you might just wear normally, but they do keep your feet very warm. And this will probably be what I'll be wearing when I go out riding with these. Let's slide this on and see how it fits. Now, as you can see, we've got all the Velcro on here. We'll make sure this is nice and loose. They've got this strap undone as well, and we'll slide them on. Now, I would suggest if you buy these, you put them on like this. Don't pull on the neoprene. Slide your foot into them. I don't think the neoprene would last very long if you were pulling on this all the time, this cuff at the back here. I think you would damage the neoprene, so that might be a good idea just to kind of put it on the floor, slide your foot in. It goes nice and easily. Maybe even get yourself a shoehorn, and that would work just fine as well. So now what we're going to do is we'll tighten up the lace. Just give it a good pull. Slide that down. There's a little button right there that makes it lock in, so it's not going to loosen up. I like my shoes nice and tight. We'll slide that in there so that it's just sitting above there, and then we'll seal up around there. Actually, let's do this the other way. Let's put the strap on. First time I've ever really had both of them on. Tighten up the strap nice and tight, and now we'll seal up the Velcro around there, and then seal this up around the top. And it stays pretty tight up around the cuff here. It comes up high enough, I would think, on your ankle as well to keep water and slush and ice out. Now, I am wearing a pair of winter cycling tights that I wear. They're a little bit insulated as well, and I think I'll ride them with them over top of that cuff so that if anything splashes up here, it's not likely to go into the cuff at the top. Now, as far as comfort goes, I think they're incredibly comfortable. They're obviously bigger than my other shoes. I mean, here are my road shoes for the summertime. You can see they're bigger because they are insulated on the inside. They're bigger shoes, and also obviously they're a size 47. These are 46, but it's something I did expect when I bought these shoes, them to be a little bit bigger, a little bit bulkier, simply because you want to keep your feet warm. Time will tell if they'll keep water out. I'm going to go out on the road today test them out in the cold, but it's so cold, there's not a lot of water out there right now. But they are Gore-Tex all the way through the inside, so I'm assuming it's going to be able to keep water out. When I'm trudging through a mountain stream this spring, I'll do an update on them to ensure that they keep my feet nice and warm. Oh, there goes my cat. And what we'll do is we'll go out on the road and give them a test, and then we'll come back and give you a final review on these shoes, the MW7 Shimanos. Good boy, Blue. Hey Google, current Calgary weather.
Currently in Calgary it's -13 and mostly cloudy. Today, it'll be mostly cloudy, with a forecasted high of -11 and a low of -18.
I guess it's time to go for a bike ride. I have the MW7s on my feet. I'm ready to take a ride here around Calgary today. It's a beautiful sunshiny day, but it is -15 Celsius. Now, this is extreme for me to ride in. I generally get a lot of riding in when the temperature is around 3 degrees Celsius, maybe down to 0. And of course, I've been using summer shoes with shoe covers for a lot of years. So it's going to be different riding with these on my feet. They already feel warm. And one of the nice things about having these shoes is it's kind of a hassle putting on shoe covers all the time. So I just slip these on and I'm ready to go. I'm going to try to stay out for about an hour ride today. I'm wondering if my hands and the rest of my body can keep warm because it is pretty chilly for sort of a pleasure ride today. So far so good with the Shimano MW7 cycling shoes. I'm pretty pleased with these. I've been riding for about 25 minutes right now, and it is a bitterly cold day. There's not often days I say, I'm going to go out and ride when it's in the minus teens and go for a pleasure ride. I'm generally riding when it's 3 degrees, around 0 degrees Celsius, when I want to get in shape for the spring, when it's not at the start of February. But right now my feet are toasty warm, very comfortable. Now when you're riding in the cold, if you do ride in the cold, you know your hands, the tops of your knees, your legs, and your feet seem to get the coldest. Right now my index finger on my left hand holding the camera is pretty cold, and my legs are kind of chilly as well. And I am really, really warm. I've got lots of clothing on. It's just a bitterly cold day here in Calgary. I'm going to ride a little bit more and see how they pan out as far as keeping my feet warm. But right now I'm very comfortable. I actually think I could even put some warmer socks in there if I wanted, because I left just enough room in there and I got just the right size so that I can make sure that I'm warm in even extreme weather. I'm back at the house now after taking a ride with the MW7 winter cycling shoes from Shimano. And something that I do know is that probably my feet are going to outlast my hands and the rest of my body when it comes to keeping warm, because I'm very pleased with these shoes. They're extremely warm, very comfortable, and I've got room inside them because I did buy an extra size to put some more socks in it, even if I get out on a colder day, which is not very likely. We're in the minus teens right now. I don't do a lot of riding on days like this. These are going to be absolutely perfect if you're going to be riding in the 0 degree weather. You're going to keep your feet nice and warm. Now, I don't know about keeping them dry, obviously, on a day like this. Not a lot of standing water around, but they are going to keep your feet nice and warm. Now, something else I was thinking about while I was riding is this is going to prolong the life of my other shoes as well, because when you just have shoe covers over a pair of mountain bike shoes, over a pair of road shoes, you know, all the dirt and grime gets up and underneath those, snow and crud and mud, just wears out your shoes quicker, your cleats and things like that. So these shoes, put them into the rotation. That's going to extend the life of my other shoes as well. So I'm extremely pleased with this purchase from Pro Bike Kit, $200 plus some duty. I think it's a good deal. Of course, it is an expensive buy on a shoestring budget, but these are going to last a long time. I don't think I'm going to be buying another pair of these shoes probably in my lifetime, so I'm going to get a lot of use out of these. Now, thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give me a like. Please subscribe to the channel as well, and if you have a product you'd like me to review, you can send me some information. Just send me an email, cyclingonashoestring@shaw.ca. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.